It is working. Great. Okay, so we're live. We are going live. So if you could just mute yourself as well, Melissa, then we're going to make sure everything is working in the group and make sure it's working, make sure it's good, make sure we're live. Okay. So let's make sure. So that's good. It's all good. Okay. So I'm going to also record this. So also Melissa, I'm going to be the speaker one. No, that doesn't work. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to work this out. So there we go. There, now it's correct. Okay, cool. We are live and it's working. I also had to, for this masterclass, because we're doing it through Zoom, I had to install the Zoom app. But anyway, I've done it now, so we're good. And I'm just going to check that it's working fine through in the group as well. And then we can dive in. So I know that you're precious with your time, probably. So just going to see if I can find the live in the group. I don't think I can find it at the moment. It should be fine. Okay, let's just have a look again. If you in the group, if you can see me, ladies and gentlemen, let me know. Hi, Chrissy. Yes, so Chrissy can see me. That's really good. Okay, perfect. It's working. It's working. All right, let's go, everyone. So if you are catching this for the first time, a live session with me, and you're not sure what I'm about. So I am Jenny Lyon. I am a business mentor, but I'm also an activator. So I'm a light activator. I'm activate your business. I activate your light. I activate all the things. I'm a healer and a channel, and I'm here to contribute in the ascension process. That's kind of a small summary of what I'm here to do. So the light body work itself is a body of work that I learned many, many years ago, and actually that really got my business online. And today, or this group is actually the first group that I've created around the topic. I've worked doing light body on individuals for a long time, and I am intending to start a group of humans, individuals, to go through the whole light body process as a group, as opposed to one-on-one. Now, there is energetically, it makes no difference if we perform the actual light body work on a group or not. It doesn't matter if it's one person or 10 people. So it's going to be exciting. It's a new pioneering venture that I am committed to completing and keep going with it. This is going to be the first group we run. We start the 20th of September. And yeah, that's what we're doing. If you're interested in this group, just message me. I'll tell you more about the bonuses and the actual entire journey tomorrow, Friday. But it's 6 months. It encompasses the 12 live sessions. There's an online course, full 360-degree support. The investment at the moment is $3,500 because the dollar is really, really strong. 3,000 British pounds. It's a completion of your light body, activated and fully embodied as well. So I just wanted to, before I dive in, I just wanted to do a little bit of housekeeping. So if you're completely new, today we're talking about light body and business, and I'm going to keep the masterclasses quite short, sort of 20 to 30 minutes, so that you can have the time to watch them all, because I do realize that your time is very valid. But I'm just going to do a very, very short housekeeping to explain a little bit about the group, because if you just landed in the group and you're like, oh, where do I go, Jenny? What do I do? So I've sent an image to most people to say, like, this is the guide section. Go to this guide section on your phone and you can see all the trainings and education in there. But I'm actually going to show you what it looks like from the computer as well. And then you can then you can go and look at go and look at the different topics and teachings and everything that you want to learn about. So let's just do this now. I'm going to share the screen just really briefly, and I'm going to show you where it all is. So let's just go. That's something I'm going to talk about in a minute. Here we go. So if you go into the group like this, you can obviously see me, but here are the guide section on the top here. So this is the place where you want to have a look. We did 2 masterclasses, a little bit longer. One is with slideshow. The other one is another in-depth training that we did a couple of weeks ago. So those ones are the education center of the Lightbody masterclasses. Then this is an explanation actually in guide 2, what the Lightbody process is all about. So from a technical point of view, what it actually involves. And then I'm going to add, there's a little bit here, I talk about the 12 levels of Lightbody. And then obviously all the replays I will add in another guide. So like a guide 4 will be the replays of these. Maybe I will actually put them here I'll probably put them in guide 1 actually. So this will be the replay of the 7 mini masterclasses that we're going to do. And today is Lightbody and Business. So that's that. I'm going to add also another section of the program itself, what the program involves. This is kind of the process, you know, the 12 weeks, sorry, the 12 sessions, the 6 months, what it's going to involve. But I'm going to add a specific guide with everything that's included in the program, payment plans, like all those things, so that you can make an informed decision about joining this group. We have already one lady who's joined, and so I'm really excited for her. So yeah, I'm looking for sort of 10 people, but I will be, you know, excited to take any individual, obviously, through this who's decided to join. So cool. Let's dive into. So I'm going to stop sharing and just go into what I wanted to say about Lightbody and Business today. So that was the housekeeping, by the way. So yeah, so you know where the guides are now. You know where everything is, and where you can find all the information. So you are probably here because you are either a light worker or a coach or an entrepreneur, an online entrepreneur, or you are maybe a business owner. You may not be, but you might be also a spiritual seeker. So one of these categories is probably you. Now, I'm going to talk about business today, and the entrepreneurial journey is a healing journey in itself. But I'm going to talk about this work in terms of entrepreneurial benefits and also future business benefits, but we're not quite there yet. So, but I call it business, Lightbody and Business, so that you can, you know, relate to it if you're an entrepreneur. And if you have a business, I'm going to touch on this as well, as in you may not be a light worker, but you might have another business that you are interested to expand in consciousness within, if that makes sense. All right. So now, what is maybe happening for yourself in terms of your business or business in general, if you have a business? If you are an entrepreneur at the moment, you may feel that one of these things may be happening. You're not thriving in the sense that you want to thrive. You may not be thriving. You might love what you do, but you may not thrive in terms of like how you run your business. You might not feel like you're thriving financially from it. You might not feel like you're thriving you know, in terms of, you know, impact and things like that. You might just feel that it's not there quite yet, and you really want this to happen. You also may not feel like it's full in alignment. There's maybe certain things in your business that you feel like, oh, I don't know if I like this, you know, it doesn't feel aligned to me. I don't know if I want to do this. I'm not sure. Is there anything else I should replace this with? You may not feel like it's really lighting you up, and it may not be turning you on, basically, in the sense that how you want it to do. I'll give you an example, for example. So before I had the Lightbody work done, I was doing massage and hands-on healing. And although I really enjoyed that, I knew there was something bigger for me. So when I was doing my work, it was like my soul was like burning to go deeper. Actually, to go deeper with my clients. And I didn't exactly have the tools to do that. So for me, it was frustrating. It didn't turn me on anymore. It didn't sort of like lit me up in the way I wanted it to do. So it made me feel frustrated. I didn't know that the Lightbody work was going to completely explode my business, but I had a sense, I had a feeling, I had an intuitive nudge that this is what I needed to do to go to my next level. So that's what's actually what happened to me. So the problem that I have discovered with then people also working with people is that, and I'm going to categorize it for you in purpose, passion and vision and mission. So if you think of what I was just saying to you there about me doing massage and, you know, enjoying it, but actually I wasn't in my full flown fledged purpose, because I was meant to do what I'm doing now, meant to coach and mentor and train and teach people, and doing all the other things, writing the book, doing the, you know, podcast, doing the things, that's what I was meant to do. So when I was not doing that, it felt like I was not fully in my purpose. And that's maybe how you feel. You may feel that there is something more for you, but you don't know exactly what it is. The second thing is passion. So this is what I was saying about turning you on. So although I liked what I was doing, it didn't turn me on. So there was no real, like really, you know, full fire there. There was not full passion there. And that's okay. You know, you might not feel on fire all the time, but long term, I couldn't see myself carry on. I was like, okay, what else do I need to do? And then obviously that meant that my vision was not clear, because if I wasn't fully aligned with my purpose and then not fully fired up in my passion, and then I couldn't see the vision, because I was like, well, what is it? What is it? What am I meant to be doing? And this is actually happens with a lot of clients that come to me as well. So they come with the same sort of like, I know there's something more for me. I want to be unlocked. I want to unlock my human success blueprint, blah, 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 blah. And that's actually what they come for. And then when we do this work, the whole thing just opens up. Okay. So what happens then on a human level is that it's almost like when the mission is not in alignment and you're like, oh, there's still something else there, it maybe feels like you are, I wouldn't say maybe failing, but it may feel like you start talking to yourself in a negative way, because it's like, okay, well, am I ever going to find the whole thing? Am I ever going to find this thing? Am I ever going to expand this into a business? Am I ever going to do this? Am I going to? So then the feelings become a little bit like lack of confidence, perhaps, or feeling inferior, or maybe imposter syndrome and things like that. And that's just like the ego wanting you to sort of stay small, which is obviously not true, you know, because you're here to do more things, right? So then that starts to decrease confidence and power. And then you found yourself like, oh, what am I really meant for doing? I promise you that this work unlocks it. I guarantee it. Actually, mark my words. So it's also going to be obviously in your own unique way, but it is a guaranteed unlocking of the plan. However that looks to you may not be clear straight away. It might be something that comes in drips later on, but it is for sure a process that will unlock the whole thing. Okay. Right. So, what happens? So personally, and with my clients, personally, what happens? The vision becomes clear. It's because the channel opens up in such a beautiful way, and you become the conduit of higher consciousness, less the ego chatter, because there's a lot of ego death that happens through this process. A lot of ego death, and ego is obviously suffering. Fear, trauma, feeling small, feeling this, all the negative stuff. That's your ego. So this guarantees ego death in stages, which means that when you turn the ego down, you are acting from the energy of your soul, which is what you're meant to be doing. So that's a guarantee in itself. Like that's a confidence booster in itself. Because you have less of the chatter, the negative chatter, and much more of your soul coming through, which is confidence reassuring, right? So it's like a natural confidence booster. What happens as well is that, so this is what happens for many of us. So when this is my personal experience, so when I had the Lightbody work down, I started to see the first level of my stepping stone, if you like, was to really familiarize myself working with families and children. And it became really clear. It was like, Jen, you have to do this. And it was a part of my journey to get closer to children, to get closer to the children of the world, like to get closer to family sort of life, to get closer to what love and, how should I put it, purpose, or really supporting like children and families really meant. And it helped me grow. And what I'm seeing now, because I wasn't sure about that, so I got that piece, I was like, okay, so I acted on it. I treated loads of children and families, and I was working to coaching them in well-being and those things. And then what happened, as soon as I kept doing, the next piece came in, and it was all about entrepreneurs and businesses, which is what I'm doing right now. And then I can see the full cycle, how this work unlocked me, because I was meant to support the children and families and then explore the next level of expertise or mastery, if you like, with entrepreneurial and the business side of things. That is actually the vehicle that will create enough cash so that I can go back and support families and children. That's actually how I see it. So that means, however that looks, if I set up foundations or if I set up something else around children and families, because this is really the foundation of the well-being of the earth, is how we bring up our children. Because if we have less traumatized children and more conscious parenting, it actually means a more conscious world. And I actually go quite tingly when I feel this. So I can see how that piece is going to be supported financially by this other arm of my business. So from a really high vision and perspective, that's actually what I'm saying. So that's what it looked to me. Now, for example, Sebastian, who I used to work with in the Lightbody work, his masterpiece came through, which is 𝐶𝐿𝐬𝐲 Genius. And he brings high consciousness into entrepreneurial and into real pioneering visionary entrepreneurs. And it's amazing the type of innovations and the type of solutions and really great products and services these entrepreneurs provide for the world, from having this higher consciousness embodied into them. That's his thing, right? And then I have my client Monique, for example, who came from project management, and she had an awakening and she unlocked herself. We did all the Lightbody work, we did all the healing, we did everything integrated. She had to heal her personal stuff, blah, 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 blah. It's an ongoing thing, obviously. And she is now doing her Conscious Connect app, which is actually a conscious marketplace for creating conscious connections, not just relationships, but conscious soul connections with soul family. I mean, it's just amazing. Really high consciousness brought into a next level of it's not a date, it's like not a dating app, but it's like a connection app for people, relationships. So it's not a dating app, it's more like a training center as well. But anyway, so that's what she's doing, and she's taking full action on this. So because of the ego depth and because of her level of expertise that she's gained before through the work that she's done before, she can now combine the both. Like she can bring in the higher pieces that come in from a higher perspective and from the divine, and then apply it into a format, into her new idea that she has, and make it happen. And because she's been in project management, she knows how to run projects, basically. So it's just happened to fall in, and there is a divine plan for you, right? So this has already been decided. And this is the same for you, just because this happened to me, this happened to Monique, Sebastian, I've got Julie, I've got other clients, Nikki, I've got loads of other clients that's happened in the same way. One is downloading a whole healing system that is done through, it's a machine. It's not a machine, it's like a higher quantum machine. I mean, honestly, what she's doing is absolutely incredible. So what I'm saying here is that this piece, your business piece, may may be in the ethers at the moment. It may not be fully there yet, or it is there, but it's not fully landed in your body, because it's like you need for a higher consciousness to it to fully land into your space. Now, like, I wouldn't know your exact soul plan, you know, your exact steps, because only your soul knows. But this work guarantees the unlocking of it in your business. Now, that's talking to you from an entrepreneurial sort of light worker perspective. Now, what I see with this as well, and if you are listening to this and you have a business that may not be a coaching business or a healing business, I can see how this work, if it's brought in to other enterprises, let's say, I'm just taking an example, let's say the owner of Amazon, let's say, for example, bring this high consciousness into the organization. Can you imagine what would happen to the conscious distribution of the profits, well-being of the staff, like new ways of doing things, more contribution to other organizations maybe and charities? I don't know. I'm just kind of playing with the thought. Can you imagine this work being brought into justice and law? Yeah. What happens if this work is brought in to like marketing and business in general, but like, for example, finance? What if his high consciousness is brought into these different areas? And it will be, whether it is with this work or in other ways, that is already happening, more conscious connections and more human, you know, humane treatment of people that are employed and things like that. That is already happening in the world on a global scale. But the way I look at it is that the next level of ascension and the next level of bringing higher consciousness and unity consciousness into the reality of the world, which is like this: we're here, we're talking, we're doing things, we're buying things, we are enjoying life, we are providing services and products to people, is through becoming that. And we become that through this work. We become it. It's a fast track, basically. So that is kind of what I wanted to say to you today. So if you have an online business, or you're an entrepreneur or a healer or a coach already, this work from a business perspective will 100% unlock your masterpiece, like the piece that you were waiting for. It will come in because it's already been done. It's already been created in higher dimensions for you. Okay. And the natural boost of confidence and natural boost of leadership and authority happens through that. So we're going to go and talk about, for the next week, next week we've got another, I'll do 6 masterclasses next week. Today I'll just do this one, and then tomorrow there's nothing on tomorrow, but I will be talking about leadership, and I will be talking about the different other aspects, your health and things like that. So check out the event section inside this group as well. So I am personally on a mission to bring this work into the world. Like, I can see myself working with entrepreneurs, healers, coaches, obviously, because that's where I hang out at the moment. And that's where I will pilot this work, you know, bringing it further. And then when I've got enough data and enough sort of like feedback and how this work is impacting and what kind of, you know, results it's giving to the people, I can then put together other documentations and then bring that into business, like higher levels of business. But I have to pilot it first in this sort of a safe environment like this. So that's the plan. And why am I doing this? Well, I believe that this is a part of my mission. It's a part of my mission as a starseed to bring unity consciousness to the planet and help people embody unity consciousness and, you know, help them to shed separation consciousness, and the old paradigm as well. And that is all from me today. I am on time as well. I'm going to check if there is if there's any messages or anything in the Facebook group before we close this masterclass today. So let me just check. I think it should be okay here. I don't think, maybe we'll see. No, I think we're good. Yeah, there's 3 people watching. Actually, before I go, I just wanted to, I was talking now and I forgot to actually share with you the Ikigai, which I wanted to share very briefly. It's just a demonstration really from what I've been talking about today, but it's a very sort of simple Venn diagram. So I'm going to just show you briefly before I go. I was going to do this and I kind of forgot because I got talking. It was just kind of a bit of a last minute. I was thinking, yeah, I can show this, you know, because that will really make sense. Right, so you may have heard, this is not my graph, by the way. This is just a very simplified Ikigai graph. So if you check Ikigai out, it's a Japanese, method or model of working in alignment with your soul. And I believe that Ikigai demonstrates really well how we, if we unlock the purpose and the vision and mission and all those things, and then get paid for it and contribute into the world, we are like in our Ikigai. And the Lightbody work actually really supports you to unlock your Ikigai, basically. So what I was talking about earlier, number 1, what you love. So that's your passion. And by doing what you love and by being absolutely excited and thrilled and get up and do what you love so much every morning, you don't need to motivate yourself. The love and the passion itself is the motivation, right? And then number 2, what you're good at. So obviously this encompasses your gifts. So if you're a spiritual teacher or healer or coach, obviously your gifts will be that. For example, I was talking about Monique. She's a very gifted channel, but she is also very gifted in product management, and she's comes from the corporate background. So she's very good at this. So she can put it together, right? And then what the world needs, yes. So if I take her, her Conscious Connect app as an example, yeah, this is what the world needs. World needs conscious relationships. World needs to raise awareness and raise consciousness in how we treat each other and how we interact with each other, right? And can she be paid for it? Yes, she can be very well paid for this, obviously, because the app itself is going to have things inside and trainings that she can sell. She will be doing other things like writing books and be on stage and getting paid very well for this, right? That's your Ikigai. So the Lightbody, in terms of business, will unlock your Ikigai. If not straight away, over time, it will be fully unlocked, okay? So that's what I wanted to share today. Sorry, I just forgot that. I was like, oh, that was an important part of the business today. We are still on time. It is only 1:01. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you really enjoyed that. And we are meeting next time on Monday, which is for masterclass. I'm doing 2 on Monday. So your spiritual mission, we start. And I can't remember actually which one the second one was. Let's have a look. We have spiritual mission and your leadership on Monday. That's what we're doing, one after the other. So they're like short ones and a little break in between. Okay, you know where to watch the replay. You will be sent the link in the emails. You have the guide section where you can go and watch the replays. And yeah, I wish you a wonderful Thursday and a wonderful rest of the week and weekend. And I'll see you on Monday. And tomorrow I'll be dropping the bonuses, and I'll be dropping all the things that you get in the program, in the 6-month program, doing this work with me. Yeah, and payment plan and things like that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you on a Monday, and have a wonderful weekend. Sending you lots of love.